Yes, good day all. My name is Dr. Louis Gyoh. I'll be talking to you from the University of Wolverhampton in the United Kingdom. I am the head of the Department of the Built Environment. I am an architect, a chartered architect and academic, a researcher as well. So I'll be talking to you about postgraduate qualifications in the UK, particularly in architecture and also related disciplines. So I'll talk to you essentially on 7 points. The first is what it means and why should you want to get a postgraduate qualification or indeed a PhD. Now, the postgraduate qualification is what we call here in the UK a level 7 qualification. Your undergraduate, we call your BSc is level 6. So if you go on to the postgraduate is level 7 and the PhD is level 8. So it's level 7 qualification as a master's and an MSc, MA, MArch are all level 7 qualifications. So if you go on to a PhD, it's level 8 qualifications. That's the international classification, and that's what you see in the UK. So why should you want to do a postgraduate qualification? Now, a postgraduate qualification could be a master's qualification that gives you the opportunity to specialize. So once you've done your normal part 1, part 2 architecture, which is your BSc or diploma in architecture, then you can go on to do a master's that gives opportunity to specialize. You may want to specialize in sustainability. You may want to specialize in BIM. You may want to specialize in heritage buildings and so on. So there are various areas which you may want to specialize. And sometimes you may want to specialize in related or allied discipline like construction management and so on. So, right now in the UK, we also offer other qualifications for architects who are interested to be QSs, but you have an architectural degree. So we have a conversion degree where you can do a master's in digital QSing. So you can be a quantity survey but you need to be have a degree or a master in architecture. So there's quite a lot of opportunities. Sometimes, like myself, I'm sure most of you also got into architecture quite early. And by the time you graduate, you are maybe 26, 27, and you say, oh my goodness, I like also QS or project management. So you also get the opportunity to add that to your portfolio and to make you feel accomplished. So you're an architect, but also you are the QS now or the project manager or a BIM expert, what you would like to do now that you're more matured and you're aware of the various profession, you want to add this. So that gives the opportunity to do that. So that's one of the benefits to do a postgraduate qualification. Now, moving on from that, you may want to do a PhD. A PhD gives you the opportunity to specialize. So it can be a specialist in a particular field. I did my specialism in sustainability and energy. So for that, I can give an example of myself, then I can talk about others as well. For this, I have been and still is a consultant for the World Bank in this particular area of energy efficiency. And I have been involved with developing of energy standards in developing countries and other countries who haven't got standards. I've also been actively involved also in improving the energy sustainability standards here in the UK. So we originally have good ventilation, insulation, use of material and so on as in the existing standards. But my research now is looking at improving sustainability from the design stage. Yeah. So once you're designing, you're thinking on the design stage how the building will be demolished. Yeah. So you have a demolition plan. As soon as you finish your plan, before you build the building, you have a demolition plan of how the building will be taken apart and what will happen to the components. So that at the end of the life cycle of the building, you're not wondering, oh, what are we going to do with this building? Yeah. So you already know what is going to happen to it. So that's taken to another level. So with a PhD, if you specialize in this sort of area, it gives the opportunity to participate as a consultant to either the World Bank or different companies and so on, and even a consultant on a project by project basis. So this is what this does. It also gives you the opportunity to specialize in research methods. So you can also help if you're in academia, like some of you are or may want to be, to help to supervise students who wish to do a PhD. And if you do a PhD is actually a skill. It teaches you a skill, you become like an academic detective, yeah? So it's like if you go to the police, you want to be a detective, to train you on techniques of being a detective. So whenever a case comes in, you apply the technique you learned from the police college. Same in academia, if you do a PhD, if you're going to do a PhD, become an academic detective, improve their sustainability. And I said, oh, you're Dr. So-and-so. The government of India is putting you, has set up a committee and you're in charge and they want you to investigate this and write a report for the government on how to move this forward. Yeah, it doesn't need to be on your topic of a PhD, but you've got the training to do a research as an academic detective. So you employ that template and you're able to bring results and so on. So that is one of the advantages of postgraduate qualifications. So what have I said? You can contribute in academia, you can contribute on a project by project basis, where you have a project that requires certain specialisms. Yeah, so you can be a consultant on that particular project. Then you can be a consultant to the governments, the World Bank, the UN, and so on, in certain areas in your area. Yeah, so that is one of the advantages. So the question now is, second question is, how do I choose? How do I know what area to do a PhD, yeah? Or to do a postgraduate qualification? So to choose, my advice is there are two areas. One is where the demand is, yeah? What does the society want me to do? Like now, if you hear beam, beam, beam all the time, yeah? So you know there's a demand for specialism in beam. Beam is reigning, beam is the fashion, yeah? So if you get on the beam train, you're gonna go places, yeah? So that's one way to choose. The second way to choose is your passion, yeah? What do I have a passion for? Yeah, if I have a passion for something, then I'm able to separate myself from other people because I enjoy it. Yeah, so you're able to excel because you've got a passion. Yeah, so you either choose someone there is a demand or choose someone you have a passion. So the advice of a choice will differ from person to person, depending on the passion and depending on the demand. So this is my advice. So if you want to do a PhD, particularly if you want to do in the UK, you go into the UK and you can Google the UK universities, www.ac.uk, and we have about 143 universities. And if you just Google the subject, you see the subject, and they're very, very good and a wide range of choices to choose from, okay? And also, if you have a PhD or postgraduate qualification, particularly in the West, in the UK, America, or Canada, Australia, then for some whatever reason, I'm not suggesting that we're better than other places, but you tend to have like an international appeal. You can teach in the Middle East, you can be consultant anywhere, and people seem to have more confidence in you internationally. Yeah, and then you can be registered at the RIBA or AIA and so on. So so that is quite a good, for an individual, that is quite good. Yeah, okay. So then what are the benefits of having a PG, postgraduate certificate, and a PhD? Okay, a PhD is a postgraduate qualification, but not all postgraduate qualifications are PhDs, yeah? All PhDs are postgraduate qualifications, but not all postgraduate qualifications are PhDs. So you have a diploma, postgraduate certificate, postgraduate diploma, master's, MA, MSc, all are postgraduate, but they're not all PhDs, yeah? So so again, you can, like in architecture, we do part 1, part 2. So the part 1, which is the first degree, then you have the master, which is the part 2. So you do that to be it's a professional qualification. Yeah, so that's architectural qualification. To be a fully qualified registered architect, you probably have to study for 5 or 6 years. The first part is the first degree. Second part is a diploma. Some countries did all together, some break it into 2. So, and so on and so forth. But then beyond that, you can specialize either in BEAM, you could specialize in sustainability, you could specialize in lean construction, construction management, and so on. Some people can even specialize in architectural history. Some do that, yeah? So that's, and so on and so forth. So that's, yeah. So, yes, so I've talked about postgraduate qualifications. I've talked about the benefits, it specialist witness. You can also be a specialist witness. You know specialist witnesses? Specialist witness, that is when there is a situation arbitration in court. Yeah. So there is a dispute between the big contractor and a client. Okay. Maybe in the area of maybe beam or something. Then there's an expert in your area. So the two courts, and then the judge will ask the specialist in this area to make what is your expert opinion on this situation. So the courts use expert opinion. So if you have a PhD or you're an expert in this area, you'll be qualified to be a specialist witness. Expert witness is called. Expert witness in court. Okay, so that's some of the benefits. So the curriculum of the subjects, each subject has its curriculum. For the master's or postgraduate, usually you have a taught course, and is usually 180 credits. That is, you must do course units up to 180 credits, and then including a dissertation. So if you did 60 credits, you get a postgraduate certificate. If you do credits, you get a postgraduate diploma. If you do another 60 credits to make it 180, you get a master's. Yeah. So all the courses are laid that way. So they have, you have this course units, this course unit, this course. They're usually 6. First 2 course units, we give you 60 credits. Yeah. Postgraduate certificate. Second 2 course units will give you another 60 credits, postgraduate diploma. Second 2 course units, again, which includes your dissertation, will give you another 60 credit. Then you have a MSc or MA. That's how they run it, most programs here. So that's the structure of it, okay? So you can stop at any stage and continue afterwards, or you could do all, you could do just anyone, the way you want to do it. So that's how the curriculum is done. So you could do it full-time or part-time, but usually in the UK here, the part-time is only open to either online courses or home students. That's those, So for full-time, but that is not because the institutions, the universities want that. There's a regulation of the immigration, yeah? So we have to, if you want to come to do full, we don't mind. But the visa office will only give a visa for a full-time student to stay, yeah? So you want to do part-time, probably do it online, yeah? But then, yeah, so that's we're bounded by that. So I've already discussed about the career prospects, what you can do. So I kind of mix it all together. So I've already told you about the various careers in academia, in practice, a specialist, consultant, and so on. Types of projects you can work on. You can work on public sector projects. The government could call you to help develop and set up standards or improve certain standards. You can be on a committee. You can work at a university. You can work at a research center. You can research for multilateral organizations like the World Bank, UNICEF, DFID, USAID, and so many other similar organizations. And then the salaries, for my experience, if you work for the UN or the $500–600 a day, for that sort of $600 a day, depending on your level of experience. I think the minimum was about $500 a day. Some people get up to $1,000 a day, yeah, depending on the level of you're operating on. Yeah, so that's the salaries, and these are salaries and opportunities. So any questions?
Yes,
okay, so I think it's probably exhausted.
PhD, as in you are doing your PhD fellowship. So
my time.
Yeah, can you give the insights of like what is next after PhD? Having your first PhD, what to do? Because I'm doing my PhD, I will be finishing it in 2 years. But what to do after that?
Right. Okay. When you do your PhD, after that, I'll encourage you to. It depends on what you want to do. First of all, you can get involved in the best thing you can get involved in teaching, or you don't have to really. It depends on what you want to do. You could do part-time teaching. But I think your experience really will come with helping postgraduate students. There are a lot of postgraduate students struggle a lot with the writing dissertations and the research methods. It's quite different from the undergraduate where they all write a report, you open different books on the internet, you cut and paste and write this. the original. Yeah. So you have to identify a problem. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we're getting you. Yeah.
In that particular field, identify what a problem is. There's a gap in the knowledge. And once you identify a gap in the knowledge, then you come with the research tools, the method. You find out, you identify what's the problem with the furniture. Then you know, oh, do I need a hammer? Do I need a saw? Do I need some nails or some gum? Yeah. So you have to identify the problem first. Then you know what tools to use to solve the problem. What's the problem? So depending on the problem, you match each tool, appropriate tools to solve this problem. So everybody can follow and understand. And so, well, there is a disconnect between the nature of the problem and your methodology. Yeah? So there needs to be an alignment between the nature of the problem you have identified and the methodology. So you with a PhD will be able to understand this because you've gone through this, and you'll be able to help the students doing their masters and the PhD as well. And with a PhD, a lot of jobs for the because you can be still what you're doing. If you're in practice or you're in academia, you could still do a lot of work for the UN and regional organizations. And as I said, they pay very well and it looks nice on the CV. Yeah.
And how to enter UN? How to approach UN? That is a big question. Then how to approach this guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. First of all, how to approach them. Number one is you must be active in whatever you're doing. So if you're doing a PhD, you must be active. Yeah. What do I mean by active? You write a paper, you attend a conference, they come to those conferences and they read the papers of those who are writing. Okay. So maybe you are looking at, I'm working with somebody now, so one of my new staff, she's just coming from India. She's a specialist in urbanization and smart cities. And I'm giving a presentation in this topic to the International Union of Architects about urbanization of smart cities in India. Yeah. So I'm giving this talk on the 5th of October. Yeah. And I'm working with her. She only just arrived. She's just finished her quarantine yesterday. And because of this, immediately she becomes visible to us. Yeah. She has a PhD from England, from Birmingham. And her name is Kumali Rini. Yeah, that's her name, Kumali. Yeah? K-O-M-A-L-I, then Rini. That's R-I-N-I or something like that. Kumali, yeah. So she's you know, because of her PhD here, she was visible. She was able to. She went to India and immediately she got a job as a senior lecturer in Australia. And after Australia, immediately she got a job in the UK again. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you can see her PhD has really set her apart and it's taking her places. Yeah, she came from India. I think she did a first degree in architecture in India. For studying architecture in India, she came to England, to Birmingham, did a PhD. And after PhD, she went back to India. Immediately, she got a job in Australia, yeah, and the University of Melbourne. And after that, immediately she got another job here. She University of Wolverhampton. She's here with us. Okay.
So is it possible that
she's here? She's not 1 week. I'm inviting her to get a. Sorry. Yeah.
Like okay, she got a PhD from Birmingham. So that is a good sign.
Yeah.
What if,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
A PhD from India, will they be like welcomed in UK, Middle East, Australia?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you get a PhD, but it matters, you know, you put yourself out there. People, you make yourself visible. Yeah, that's what is important. Like now, she's not here 1 week. I'm already getting her to make a presentation to the Union of International Union of Architects. So they're going to see her work. Yeah. Nobody's asking me where did she get her PhD. Is who has done this? Yeah. Like you see a nice presentation. Who has done this? I'm talking to you. You enjoy my presentation. You don't know where I got my PhD. Yeah. I got it from the UK, but you don't know. Nobody really. So once you put a good presentation, nobody cares where you got a PhD. Yeah. It's what can you offer?
That is much
okay. If I got a PhD from England, if I got a PhD from the UK and I can't deliver, It doesn't matter where you get your PhD.
Yeah.
As simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
wanted to ask one question. Like, I'm just curious. Like, people do research based. Like, people get grants and do research. Matlab, I've seen it for physicists and all. How much is it valid for architecture when they're doing research, grant based research from the
Yes.
government, something like that? No.
Yes. If you Google www.ac.uk,
Okay.
the www.jobs. Yeah, job. It is normally jobs in academia where you have funding. Yeah, where you have money funding for PhDs and postgraduate qualification PhDs. I'm
Okay.
sad to say because life is relatively very easy in the UK. Most of our children don't want to study to that level. Yeah, they're happy after BSc. They feel they've achieved a lot. So we have a lot of vacancies and a lot of opportunities here because our children don't want to study hard like we did. Yeah, so they don't want to do PhDs. So you can see this year alone, I'm having to import lecturers from Hong Kong, from India, from Australia. Yeah, because our people here uh, don't want to do it. Those who can do it, they're getting good jobs. They don't want to teach anyway. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not. They are, but they're getting good jobs, getting maybe twice what I get paid. So why should they come? Why should they come to do a PhD when with a BSc you can get a job that's paid more, 3 times what I'm paid? So there's not the incentive. So for those who are interested to a PhD and to do the hard work, but the young generation, they want to go into computing, you do a little bit and you get so much money, yeah? But the real hard work of researching, they're not so much interested.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We would like to know a little bit about your journey. What were the challenges that you faced in your masters and then in your PhD, which could help the students? How you like kept going on without,
Right.
yeah, that because sometimes you lose that motivation in life because
Yes.
sometimes it doesn't work out or something like that. Hardships
Yes.
are there. So
Yes.
what would you say for
Yes.
students like that
Yes.
in this situation?
Yes. After my first degree, when I started working as an architect in the 90s, it was quite tough then. It's a big global recession, so it was quite tough. I was working part-time, then I was teaching part-time in a college, like a polytechnic. We call it colleges here. So I then applied to do a PhD. Well, I didn't have the money at the time, so I did apply to do a PhD, and I couldn't get funding for it directly. So what I did, but what was happening at the time then was when card was coming in and the internet was coming in. Yeah, some people watching this may be too young to know. In 94, 95, there was nothing like that. We're just coming in. So that was in the University of Sheffield, and they put the internet. We all come around to have a look. Yeah, yeah. So then, and the architects, that's when AutoCAD first came, where you had on Windows. Yeah, before initially when I started was on DOS, and they were digitizing tablet. There was no mouse at that time. There's nothing like a mouse. So we used the keyboard, the arrow keys, and the F4, F5, and so on. So it was quite old fashioned. So when the card came in, there was a new course in the University of Sheffield to do a master's, like a post, like what I'm encouraging the people to do now. So I wanted to specialize in sustainability. Sustainability was new in 95, 96, was very new. Computer aided design using computers in the offices also very new. So there was this master's course that offered the opportunity to do two. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went there and I did both these courses. And in the UK here, I was able to get what they call a careers development loan because there was a recession. So there was some money for us to retrain. But I only trained you for 1 year. Yeah. So I did this course as a 1-year course. So once I got into this course, then there was a funding available from the website I gave you. So then sustainability, they had just finished the Rio conference in 92. So by 95, there was a lot of scholarships for doing PhDs in this area to make a research and so on. So I got the opportunity, there was research, then immediately got a job. Yeah, so I was now a member of staff from a student. I became a member of staff. I had an office and I did the research for 3 years. And once I finished the research for 3 years, there was another opportunity with one of the companies I was involved with for installation of solar systems, solar energy systems, and so on in developing countries. And then I did my first job for the UN. We did some training, and from there, never looked back. Yeah, so from there, I did more studies on energy efficiency in building. So I mixed that with solar energy. So you do make the building very efficient, and you use solar energy renewable as to supplement. Yeah, so not a replacement, but you have to be very efficient first. Then it makes sense to use renewable energy, because then the renewable energy will supply a reasonable percentage of the energy requirements of the building. Yeah, you get you get the meaning what I'm meaning? Because if you don't have an efficient building, so you use renewable energy is maybe supplying maybe 5%. But if your building is very efficient, then your building needs little energy. So if you put solar, then solar supplies a big percentage of the energy of the building. So it makes economic sense. Anyway, so that's the way I went. And from there, I got a call from Washington. That's, yes, somebody referred you, you worked on this project. Can you do this for us? That's a World Bank project. It's a World Bank, yes. So I did that World Bank project. And that was a very, very lucrative project. It was paid about £500 a day. And I worked for about 30 days, the first part. And, you know, so within 4 months or, you know, I was able to earn £40,000, £50,000. It was unbelievable, yes. So yes, more money than I ever earned in a long time, yeah. So anyway, so that's how that went. So right now, I'm also doing a project for the GIZ. Yeah, so the GIZ is the same as DF or USAID, but the German one. So I'm doing one for them now. And to be honest, right now it's usually word of mouth. Once you get in there, they know each other. They all say, do you know somebody? And they'll give you a call. Yeah. Yeah. And particularly, like you're from India and it's a developing country, they want to encourage us, because what used to happen in the past is though you provide all the experts from London, America, and Australia, but now they're not doing that anymore. They will bring 1, 2 from America or London, and they want to use the local people there, because they found out that has been more successful from their experience than bringing everybody from outside. Because you would tell them, no, this is the context in India. You can't do this. This is not with our culture. If you do this, the people won't like it. They're not going to do it.
Yeah. So it should be in sync with the culture and tradition of the.
Yeah. Because if you bring a thing in a particular way, the people will not do it, and it will fail.
Yeah. So quickly, can you guide us like which research paper organizations we should opt for to give our research papers?
Yes, we have journals called journals which are called Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So the Q journals, Q1 to Q4, yeah? Q1 to Q4. So you just Google Q1 to Q4 journals, it will now list them down. So try to put your publication in Q1 to Q4 journals. Q1 is the very best, Q4 is, yeah, but these are all acceptable, yeah? Q1 are really top journals, very difficult to get in there. But if you say, well, I publish in Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4 journal, it tells the quality immediately, yeah.
Okay, so that would be like an impact factor of how much?
Impact factor, that's right, that's a massive impact factor. It's all there. If you go on the, exactly, you get the point. So those Q1 to Q4 have maximum impact, yeah? They have the highest impact, the Q journals.
Okay. So that means they would be like somewhere around 4 to 5 impact factor.
Exactly.
That is like scientist level research.
Yes, exactly. So the Q journals have the highest impact factor in publication. Yeah. So if you go there, you aim for that one. But if you don't get through that one, you could use those ones that are quite high, so you get to practice and so on. And then maybe the first time, don't expect to get a Q1 publication, but maybe you get 1 or 2, and eventually you get in the Q journals.
Great.
And of course, I advise you read the Q journals, because it's not magic. It's written by human beings, not by machine. Yeah. So you can read and see how it is, and you get used to it, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, sure. Quite sure. Yeah. we'll do that. Yeah. Your journey was quite really inspiring for us, and I hope all of us are right now content, and whosoever listens to it, whenever we tripwire it on YouTube or any other social media platform, they are going to get quite a lot of motivation and clarity through your conversations and lectures, and hopefully they get inspired to work globally, and
Yeah.
also, yeah, and if I can say that you work for developed countries also, and you work for underdeveloped countries also, you work for developing countries also, like
Yes.
you are a superhuman. To be
Now,
everywhere all around the globe, that's a really good quality what we as juniors should take from you, definitely.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. But you have done the same, because I met you before. You came to my office, and you came here in the UK, and you traveled around many universities, and that's just the way to do it. You know, I can remember you came around, so that's a good. I know. By the way, one more thing.
Yeah.
If you have a PhD, you can also work with a lot of universities abroad, foreign universities, where we have what is called a split PhD. I didn't explain that. You can have a PhD from a British university or American or Australian, but I speak for Britain, that's where I am, where you can have our PhDs but still be in India. Yeah, so we admit you in our university, we will supervise you here, you will be in India to do the study, yeah, and then we'll give you a local supervisor, that is somebody like yourself who has a PhD, you'll be there to give advice. The main supervisor is here, so we do it together. And when they qualify from India, their certificate will carry our name. It will not say you were in India, so you have exactly the same certificate as I have, yeah, with a UK qualification certificate. So you can do, it's called a split PhD, and it's cheaper because you know the fees is much lower, and also you don't have to pay the accommodation cost. You don't have to leave your job. You know, you just carry on doing what you're doing. So that is a very good option.
Brilliant.
So if you have a split PhD, that's what it means, yeah. And
So
in fact, some split PhDs give you the opportunity to come here once a year, yeah. You come to the UK once a year for a week, and you meet your colleagues, and you make a presentation, and then you can go back. So if it's a 3-year, you come here once a year for a week, you know, if you want to do that. But the final presentation, you'll be doing it here, that defense. So which is quite good, actually. And the fees is not much, and it's the best of both worlds. So split PhD, yeah.
So it's, I'm doing my PhD right now. It's like halfway I have traveled. So I need to complete my PhD and then opt for this kind of PhD courses, you mean to say?
You can do that. And also, in fact, for your situation, you will also have a situation for those who are doing it like yourself. If you want to join us at any time, there is a provision. You can do that. You can come and be with us here for a semester, 3 months, 12 weeks, maximum of 24 weeks. You can be with us here and study with us in the research method, see what we're doing, and be with people doing the same thing as you are, and other experts, so you can learn. So there is a provision for that.
Oh, great. And that's a very interesting way to learn. I will be surely taking it up in my mind and try to achieve whatever you are told right now, and try to follow up for the same things. Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's up to her right now to conclude the session.
Thank you so much, sir. I think the students are going to get a lot of insight up to how they can proceed with the master's degree, especially the global scenario now, what we are facing after this pandemic or something. The people have so much of negativity going on. And after hearing, I'm sure they'll be encouraged and they'll be applying for masters, doing it, and hopefully for PhD as well, so they can start out and work for world organizations like UN. We have the UN and everything, like big institutes.
World Bank, UN,
World Bank.
United government.
The thing is that we don't know that architects can go beyond this, like our practice, like working with UN or a global organization is a big deal. And unless someone tells you that, okay, that is a possibility for you, it is something that opens up a new hope, or, you know.
Absolutely. And also we also have, for the postgraduate, we also have online master's courses where you can be in India and study from Wolverhampton, get a Wolverhampton qualification, and it's exactly the same as somebody who was here. We have one in my university, we have off-site manufacturing. Yeah, that's off-site manufacturing construction, prefabricated buildings and so on. Yeah, so we also got in BIM, yeah, building information modeling, we have it online. Then we also have a construction management, we have online, we got project management online. So if you study that, you will be exactly the same certificate, and it will not say you were in India when you're studying it as online. It will say exactly the same as if you were here, because you study with us, but it will be like a webinar as I'm talking to you. So you'll be talking to your lecturer, he puts the slides on, you can see the lecture, you can ask questions. So it's exactly the same, it's just it's digital, yeah? So we do that, and then we record the sessions. So in case you want to play it back, and we give you the assignments and, you know, have tutorials, you know, and then we give you the same qualification with no discrimination on the mode of study.
Sure.
Yeah. And this has become more so popular with the pandemic, where a lot of masters courses are rolling them out. Yeah.
Okay. The masters over there is of 1 year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yes, the masters is 1 year. Yeah. Some 1 year, some 18 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But most of 1 year, 1 calendar year. Yeah. January to January.
January to January. In India, I guess Council of Architecture, the highest authority who governs the architectural norms, rules, and regulations, they recommend that they need a 2 years masters. Unfortunately, I don't know, but
no. I think there is a master of architecture that is 2 years. That is the same anywhere in the world. It's not 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. But
MA.
the master of architecture is a professional master's. It's not the same as masters in BIM or offsite manufacturing. No, master in architecture is professional and is governed by the PSRB. That's Professional Regulation Standard Board. Yeah, so your professional body or Institute of Architects India, Institute of Architects Britain, they control that. It's not the university, so they control that. So it has to be 2 years anywhere in the world. Yeah, there's nowhere in the world you do it 1 year, nowhere.
Oh, okay.
So that's different. But the one I'm talking about is a specialism where you specialize after that. Yeah, you want to go special. But this is a normal architecture. There's nothing special about it. Yeah, the masters, it's nothing special. It's normal. Finish first degree, 2 years masters. It's nothing special. Yeah?
Yeah, you have to make it special rather.
Yeah, well, it's special, but what I'm saying is that it is normal. All architects do it. Yeah? But not all architects study BIM, not all architects study sustainability. That is an additional specialism. But if you're going to be a fully qualified architect, you must do part 1, which is first degree, part 2, which is master's, 2 years anywhere in the world.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, definitely.
That's the international standard. There's no getting away from it.
Yeah, because a lot of our students also went over there and did 1 year MA in urban design, MA in something. So that is a
yes,
kind.
Yes. But if you do that, you cannot be registered as an architect that has part 2.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't be registered here or in Africa or in Australia or America. No. Yeah. So they can say Master of Architecture. They will say, is it a part 2 qualification? So if you are not sure, ask, is it a part 2 qualification? If it is a part 2 qualification, then the professional bodies in the world is recognized by the International Union of Architects as a part 2 qualification. Yeah. But if it is a Master of Architecture and BIM or a Master of Architecture and Structure, then it's not, you can say, is it a part 2 qualification? No. So don't worry about the name. Ask, is it a part 2 architectural qualification? Yeah, that means, is it accepted by the professional body? If they say no, then you understand where you're standing. Because don't worry about the name. People give all sorts of names they like. Don't worry about that. Just ask, is it part 2 qualified? Yeah?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. We'll surely take care of that.
You know, some countries, they could say BA architecture. Some say MSc architecture. Some say BTech architecture. All this. Don't worry about the name. Is it part 1 qualified? Yes, then you know what you're doing, what you're getting. You know, this is first degree proper architecture. Yeah? Then you will do a master. Some call it PG Deep. Some call it MSc. Some call it MA. All sorts of names. Don't worry about the name. Say, is it part 2 qualified? Yes, you do it. No, then you know what you're getting.
Oh, great. Yeah. It's a new learning. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, I think I've exceeded my time, perhaps.
But it
No.
was worthy. It was
Yeah, it is
worthy,
worthy.
and it was
Okay, thank you.
really qualitative time what you have spent with us. Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks ever so much. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming with us on board on this mission of ours to incorporate students more and more towards masters and PhD level study. Thank you so much, sir. And we
Thank
hope
you.
to see you soon
Thanks.
with
Thank
something
you.
new.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thanks all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Yeah. Recording. I need to.